was in attendance in Cincinnati when he was it was Thursday night football game when he was, his fingers were
he threw up the thriller hands. It wasn't good.
That was the stadium was just like dead silent. But you're right. At some point you kind of just feel bad for the guy, and you're like, obviously you're a shell of your former self, and these guys want to play. I get it, but it's tough. And I mean, I'm looking at the Falcons defense right now.
It's awful.
If you could name a defensive lineman on the Falcons that's going into this year, I would be surprised.
At Mayo Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, the final of the division previews. If you want the other ones, hit Mayo Media Network. Sub to that. You can find them all up there, or just the show notes. They are down there as well. The NFC South. Rob Pizzola has made his triumphant return to the show, although your voice has not.
I'm still not 100% yet, and with it being morning, it's going to take me a little bit of time to get back into it. But the thing is, like, I'll be 40 this year. When you get older and you're sick, I don't know what it is though. Like, I don't have the ability to rest like you're supposed to. I'm too antsy. Like, they're like, oh, lots of rest, keep your legs, water, this and that. And like, oh, my buddy calls me, like, you want to go golfing? Like, I feel like shit, but like, let's do it or whatever. And I'm still smoking weed. It's all bad. Like, I'm not doing the best to help my body recover at this point, but it is what it is, as a former host of mine used to say. And, we just onwards and upwards, Cam. It's the way we do it.
40's old? Okay. Then I guess I'm a senior citizen. Oh, actually, in Vegas, I'm a part of the Silvers Club now. When you're over 50, you're part of Team Silver, not Moist. We talked about this before, right? Cool. We are silver. Anyway, yeah, $5 breakfast in the works. But remember, Rob, in medieval days, people were dead and married at 22. So I guess you're doing pretty good still. You got up.
Well, I was married at 25. I got married young.
You did.
Maybe that's what's caused the early aging for me, I think.
Or drugs. Drugs will do it too. I know an Italian guy, he's 36. He looks 58 because he does drugs every day. But that's another story for another show.
Well, that's not what we're doing here. We're talking about the NFC South. And Rob, you weren't on with us when we did the NFC North, but a wildly competitive division from top to bottom. You can make a pretty good case for any of those teams to come first or fourth. Not all that dissimilar from the NFC South, just on a much lower level of quality.
Yes, exactly. It's the same thing. It's a competitive division. Like, you look at the gap between the top and bottom team in the market right now, it's really close. The difference is that all these teams are shit relative to the NFC North. That's the big difference. You could get a team that wins the division below 500 here, and no one's going to be surprised because, frankly, these teams leave a lot to be desired at this point. So, yeah, it's a rough division. Maybe, double-digit wins is like almost a guarantee.
Who's winning double digits in this division? I don't know who.
I don't know who either, Cam. Maybe you could play 30 games and one of them will get to 10 wins.
I almost want to keep these guys out of the playoffs. Like, a division team has to go in. Like, it's like, why? Okay, because I feel sorry. You said it, Rob. Like, the North, you can make a case for every team. If Minnesota's ranked last by the sports book with 7.5, like, I think they're better than any team in this division, to be honest with you.
I will say that these teams, despite the fact that we have this conversation every year. It's like, they should not give like a team that wins the division home field when they get to the playoffs. But we've seen like these teams get to the playoffs, everybody count them off, and then they end up playing like an amazing playoff game. Panthers, Rams last year. The Bucs a few years ago played one with the Rams, which was like a huge comeback in that game as well. So they get to the playoffs and they at least get frisky. They give you a
with Tampa, game. Rob. They had some great playoff games. Like, you're right. But that's the whole thing when the world's going, oh, these guys all suck. It's kind of like this year. Like, who's the hype team? The Rams. Yeah. Like, now I'm kind of like, every time somebody gets on a team's nuts, you're like, oh, okay. I almost want to go the other way just because that's what seems to happen in gambling. It doesn't matter if it's in the past or now, guys, because, when too many people like something, it usually doesn't work out very well, but Rob, you bring up good points.
Well, this has always been the thing with me in this division. I've had a lot of success betting this division winner over the past 2 or 3 years because Atlanta has just been, oh my God, Atlanta. This is the year for Atlanta. Unfortunately, Atlanta has the longest odds to win this division now.
I know, because their quarterbacks are terrible, for one. And, the defensive situation for them, like, and not having Walker, like you lose basically two of your best players in terms of pass rush on the defense from a year ago. Where are the sacks going to come from? And that's just the NFL. If you look at the teams every year that lead in sacks or teams that are bottom in sacks, it's pretty, you see the correlation. Like there's a theme there. You need to be able to rush the quarterback. And the problem with the Falcons, like the last 3-4 years, was they couldn't do that. Finally, they draft a couple guys in Pierce and Walker who are able to do that. And then one is injured for the year and the other one is suspended for 8 games. So that's going to be a real problem, I think, for Atlanta.
So right now, Cam, the Falcons have the longest odds to win the South. They're plus 375. So they're not incredibly long odds. If you take a look at their win total for the year, they're stuck right at 7.5. This division vacillates between 8.5 and 7.5 as the spread across the board in terms of win totals. Now, Michael Penix's doctor came out and said he has the greatest ACL in the history of the world. So that's good news, I think, for a guy with multiple ACL tears.
Yeah. What's a fucking doctor gonna say? He's shit. He's done. Like it's like it's like yeah, he's cooked. Okay, thanks, pal. It's like these reports that come out with things. I don't even believe them. Like half the time they're just made up. Oh, this guy looks great in camp. It comes out, it looks like shit. So it's like enough of this stuff. I'm gonna tell you, the Falcons every year it's the same old damn story. And then the Bucs, by the time we taped last night, they signed Vita Vea. That's it's 1 year, $30 million deal. That's good for their pass rush. So, you kind of look at the division and go, and I like Penix. I liked him in college. I'm a Washington Husky guy, but there's a lot of flaws with this team. And Pat, I think Rob brought up the best point. That defense is going to get ravaged. Like they're going to have to score like 35, 38 points a game to win these games because they have no pass rush. They're going to get sliced in the secondary. Like that's the whole problem. And I don't know if they have the ability, even with Bijan Robinson and some of the weapons they have good guys, but you know what I mean? You don't want to get, I don't think they're capable of being like a shootout team all the time and scoring mid-30s.
Rob, it's like their GM just built a fantasy team and then didn't know anything about the other positions.
And then brought in like the wrong structural coach. Like Stefanski comes in. Stefanski's heavy like play action guy. He always has been, which I guess is great when you have Bijan in the backfield. But if your quarterbacks can't throw downfield, who cares about the play action anymore? Like if your passing game can't threaten anyone, defenses are just going to stack the box, take Bijan out of the game, and they're going to dare Penix or Tua, whoever it may be, to throw the ball consistently downfield. And, Tua's arm is completely sapped, and Penix is just very inaccurate down the field right now. So I could see that being a big problem. But you're right. Like, you look at the weapons, Bijan, Drake London, even Kyle Pitts
was on fire at the end.
Yeah, as a real pass catcher, but it doesn't matter if you don't have a quarterback. And I think that's where the Falcons are. Bad quarterback, bad defense, and usually in the NFL, that leads to bad things.
Well, and Penix has a good arm, but as you mentioned, he's just wildly inaccurate when he does try to throw down the field. But do we even know when he is going to be back and ready to play? There seems to be no consensus on, he'll be ready by week 3. He'll be ready by week 7. It's just a big mystery right now.
And it's 2026, so you get a dozen different beat reporters who tell you a dozen different things. Some of them get fed information directly by the agents, and they just copy and paste it to their Twitter and tweet it out. Like, Penix is rehabbing, great. You expect him to be ready at the beginning of the season. We don't know anymore. The news cycle, the information is so terrible. But, I mean, listen, Penix, he's still young. There is a ceiling for him, but he struggles to make throws. His decision making is a little bit off. I don't hold out high hopes for this team. But with that said, they have 6 games in their own division, so you never know what's going to happen. And that's kind of like how Carolina got it done last year in getting to the playoffs. They beat up on bad teams in the division and they got it done. So you never say never. But I'm not. The market all offseason has been betting the Falcons like under. The number has been coming down. And you can see why when you just look at the defense. Like, where are the sacks going to come from? That's a huge factor.
Well, you had the bad defense, and then the suspensions and injuries started to pile up. They were not able to replenish that. And I think everyone saw the first week of the preseason and Tua try to play quarterback, and we're like, oh, God, this could go really bad.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Tua play enough quarterback now to know that he was like a Mike McDaniel merchant for a pretty long time. And I
I don't want him playing, Rob. Like, I worry. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, as a human being, like, I'm an old school guy. I love big hits, and you know what I mean? I think the league is actually wussified a lot of the time, and with the too many flags. And, you know, when you lay out a guy, you lay out a guy. But if a guy's lying down, you automatically throw a flag if he's dead. It could have been a clean hit or you know, but when I watch Tua play and he gets hit, it bothers me, to be honest with you, for a guy that's had a lot of concussions. It's troubling because the next one might be like really, really bad. And I know he can talk about it. Oh, you know, he loves the game. He loves it more than anything, but you also want the guy to have a life after football, because right now his head's like, it's been knocked around him way too many times.
For sure. I was in attendance in Cincinnati when he was it was Thursday night football game when he was, you know, his fingers were
he threw up the thriller hands. It wasn't good.
That was I mean, the stadium was just like dead silent. But you're right. At some point you kind of just feel bad for the guy, and you're like, obviously you're a shell of your former self, and you know these guys want to play. I get it, but it's tough. And I mean, I'm looking at the Falcons defense right now.
It's awful.
If you could name a defensive lineman on the Falcons that's going into this year, I would be surprised. Like, they have no household name recognition at this point. You know, AJ Terrell, who was their number one, he's kind of like fallen off in the last couple years as well. So they don't have a stud corner anymore. I just think it's gonna be a real rough time for them.
We see this with these stud corners a lot. It's very rare that someone gets identified as being a true lockdown corner, and then that persists over the next 5 to 8 years. Usually what happens is that they're good for 2 years. People recognize that. Then they just live off that reputation for another 4 years, despite the fact that they're not good anymore. Nnamdi Asomugha was the king of this.
Yeah. I'm worried about Witherspoon. Seattle gave him that big deal, and he was amazing. Like, he's so damn good. I'm like, yes. But you worry, Pat. I think that's an excellent point. You know, the guy's been one of the best in the league, but over time, you get a little bit scared. Guys get a lot of money. Who knows what the hell is going to happen here? But that's a very astute point.
Well, it's also just the hype of like where they were drafted, right? Like AJ Terrell at one point, I think it was his second season, he was one of the best corners in the league. But that was his peak. He's never been like, and that was probably 2020, 2021, something like that. But a lot of these corners that are drafted highly, that people view them on their potential more than any. Like Sauce Gardner for a while now has not been good, but people talk about Sauce Gardner like, you know, he's this great cornerback. They're doing scrimmages with the Patriots, and AJ Brown is roasting him on every single play. Like, it's tough to play corner in the league, especially if you don't have a pass rush, and that's hurting Atlanta too, and hurting Terrell. But I mean, I look at the defense, and I mean, I already have concerns about the offensive quarterback, but you got to be able to rush the passer, and Atlanta, I don't think is going to be able to this year. Sometimes
as a corner, you can get away with reputation because once you reach this status, like Patrick Surtain would be a very interesting example of this. Obviously, he's still very good. He won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, but no one really challenges him on the field anymore because they can just look to the other side and be like, oh yeah, we're going to go at that guy instead. So like 3 or 4 years pass and you still have this reputation as being like this lockdown guy, and all of a sudden time passes and you're not anymore, and then people immediately realize it and go after you.
Yeah, I think the big thing nowadays is like we have more metrics nowadays to measure corners, and like the separation numbers are the big things that you typically look at. So like a guy like Surtain, there's just no separation from him. The 2 Texans corners, Kamari Lassiter is like really, really good. You know, they force you to go to the other side of the field more than anything else. It's just like you know the guy's not going to be open on the other side, but that's the big takeaway nowadays. And then it's ball skills as well. Like if you do have good coverage and they throw at you, are you able to defend the pass, or, you know, does a receiver catch the ball over you? And that's an issue with some of these corners is they're smaller. They're much smaller than receivers, or else they'd probably be receivers if we're being honest.
Well, you get paid a whole lot more if you're a receiver, so that's a path of least resistance there. It's why you see fewer running backs now. Maybe there'll be a running back resurgence over the next, like, probably not the next couple of years, but like
I think there will be
5 years from now that running backs are getting paychecks again, that some of the best athletes will be like, okay, maybe I will play running back now.
Yeah, you know, like I think that the running backs is a pretty fascinating conversation, because for a long time people are like, running backs don't matter. But like they do. They just don't matter as much as some other positions. But like, look at the Chiefs last year with who they're rolling out, like Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. Like these guys can't get yards. on first down ever. Like they run the ball every first down for 1 or 2 yards, sometimes negatives. Like that's going to affect your offense.
It's a domino effect, Rob. You're
100%.
right. So think about it. You get now the Chiefs have Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker can get yards. It sets up what is Mahomes' problem? His arm. He's got noodle arm now over the years. It gets weaker and weaker and weaker. You set up the run, and he doesn't have to do all these things that he used to have to do. You can rely on a run game. That's how Seattle won, Pat. Like they had Walker and Charbonnet, smash. JSN gets open more. Cooper Kupp is a possession receiver. The tight ends with Barner. All these things happen. It's a domino effect. You get yards on first down, as Pizzola says. It opens up the playbook to so many things, and it really helps hide the different deficiencies of a quarterback that is losing arm strength.
I think some of that argument was made in bad faith that running backs don't matter because you hear that and you instinctively think, okay, whatever. But I think that the true point behind it was if you just build out a better offensive line, you don't need as good of a running back because there's only going to be 4 to 8 running backs potentially in the league at one time. That can be legitimate game changers for what you do, even running behind an average offensive line. But listen, no one thinks that Ashton Genty sucks, but he couldn't go anywhere last year because he got hit 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage every time. It didn't matter who they had back there; they weren't doing anything.
I think and the more shifty guys in the league have had those offense, like Jahmyr Gibbs, and Bijan has actually had a good offensive line for many years now. But the guys like Bijan, they're just a dual threat. Like I don't know how off the top of my head how many times Bijan had 5 or more receptions last year, but it's probably bordering on double digits if I had to guess. Like he is utilized as a running back, but he's utilized in the passing game as well. And they move it, they scheme him all over the field. They have him in motion a lot prior to the play. Stefanski will do a lot of that stuff as well. So just that even him on the field, if he's not involved in the play, still changes the way you play defense, right? That's whereas if that's not Bijan Robinson and it's Brian Robinson in on some of the plays, it's going to be a little bit different. And that's not saying he's a bad back, but it's you don't have to pay attention to him. So that's one thing Atlanta has going for them and Stefanski has going for him is that they have good weapons on offense where they can get good matchups. But somebody's got to make the throws at some point or another. And, Tua's capable, but he's going to throw a couple picks a game because he just hangs balls. It is what it is at this point. So I don't know. It's a good roster, but they're a quarterback and a pass rusher away, or Atlanta.
If you took the under on Rob's claim of double-digit 5-catch gains for Bijan Robinson, you're a winner. It was only 9, Rob, you liar.
Oh, wow. How did he have? COVID. Did he have any games where he caught 10 or more? Maybe 10 or more targets. I don't think he caught 10 catches.
Yeah, he had 3 games of double-digit targets. 8 was the most he had. He did have 2 over 100-yard receiving games, though.
Wow.
But this is what I'm saying. He's a running back, but he's so versatile. He might as well not be listed as a running back. You could line him up out wide if you wanted to.
I realize that this has become a shit on the Falcons type of show. However, with the longest odds, I am kind of inclined to bet them because they could win this division by 3 games. I wouldn't be super stunned.
Yeah, I was for Forward Progress yesterday. I was with G-Stack George, and we were doing division winners draft, and eventually I ended up taking the Falcons. I'm like, the sentiment on this team is that they're completely dead. The division is still wide open. And yeah, all it takes, I'm not a Penix guy, but if he returns and he's fine, their offense is going to be pretty decent. It will be. That is, just having one good side of the ball in this division might be enough to win the division.
We talk about markets, Rob, and that's how a lot of these guys who bet big money bet, right? You get one number here, and everybody's betting the under on the Falcons. So you can find a number where you say, I'm actually in now. You know what I mean? The best of the number on the under's done. It keeps on going down and down and down, and maybe you go the other way and go with the over. I kind of agree. This whole division's a shit show. Who knows who's going to win? Tampa Bay, they have aging stars on their team. They lose some guys. Carolina, what's going to happen with the Panthers? This is the whole thing. I look at them, Saints. You know what I mean? Tyler Shough, is he going to be good in the second year? We got to figure some things out. They're very thin at receiver. If somebody gets hurt, isn't Dyson already fucking hurt? There's a problem right there, right? So. Tyson, right? What do I call Dyson?
Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, what am I thinking? Dyson vacuums? I'm fucking that stupid commercial with that lady from the fucking shopping network. We're Canadian, Yeah, I got a Dyson coming out of my purse too. Anyway, here's the deal. The division blows. Find value.
If you want to get better at betting, Rob and I have an educational series that is out on Mayo Media
Is that a guarantee?
Network. It's not. It's how to win at the NFL or simply lose less money.
Lose less money. I like that one in brackets. How to get lose less money.
You know, it is in brackets.
Not available in Quebec, Hawaii, or yeah. Okay, here we go. Like
possible side effects may include loss of scalp or penis.
Yeah, exactly. Well, those are my side effects. All the shit I'm on. Fuck.
That is part one is up on Mayo Media Network right now. We'll have using AI in order to help you bet, plus a deep dive into prediction markets as well. So sub to Mayo Media Network. Smash the like while you're here as well. And give us your division winner down in the comment section. Did you know there's a version of your home that you haven't even lived in yet, where the rooms actually feel finished? And more importantly, the sun isn't blasting you in the face at 6 in the morning? Blasting in the face at 6 in the morning. Don't know what you're up to, but the sun will get you. That's what it'll do. It'll wake you up for the day, and it'll be awful. Everyone's had those blinds that drive you insane. They're crooked, one side rolls up higher than the other, and you live with them for way longer than you should because replacing blinds feels like a hassle. Blinds.com actually makes it incredibly simple. You can customize your window coverings, get samples shipped to your door fast and free, and even add professional measurement and installation. They've covered more than 15 million windows over 30 years, so you know what they're doing. Right now, Blinds.com is giving my listeners an exclusive $50 off when you spend $500 or more. Just use code PATMAYO at checkout. Limited time offer, rules and restrictions apply. See Blinds.com for details. I started taking creatine because I'm working out consistently, and if it's something I'm going to use every day, I want to know I'm actually getting the highest quality product. You should too. That's why I use, and you should, Momentous Signature Spec Creatine. Creatine's already one of the most researched supplements out there, supporting strength, power, lean muscle growth, recovery, and health. Even cognitive performance, which in my elder age I actually need at this point. But Momentous has taken the quality side to a whole nother level. Signature Spec Creatine is manufactured in a pharmaceutical facility using reverse osmosis water purification, and put through an expanded 6-stage testing process with 4 independent agencies. That means 10 times fewer impurities, tighter heavy metal limits, and plus PFAS and microplastic screening. All great stuff. And the ultra-fine powder actually mixes easily without those gritty clumps that you see those weirdos at the gym have, so it's simple for me to work it in to my everyday routine. That's the Momentous Standard. Try Momentous Signature Spec Creatine at livemomentous.com and use code PATMAYO for up to 35% off your entire first order. That's livemomentous.com, promo code PATMAYO for 35% off. August is a great time to hit reset before the fall starts getting crazy, and that includes finally replacing some of the stuff in your closet you've probably been wearing for, decades. Anyway, way too long. That's where Quince comes in. Quince is all about fewer but better prices, premium everyday staples without luxury brand markup. You can get their organic cotton tees, Mongolian cashmere sweaters, premium denim, or tailored chinos starting at just $60. Everything is designed to last, and because Quince works directly with ethical factories, you're getting prices 50 to 80% less than similar brands. I got Quince stuff all in my regular rotation now because A, it fits well, B, feels high-end, and C, is easy. These are the basics you can wear all the time without ever thinking about it. I use the stuff, you should too. Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers. Go to quince.com/mayo. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's QUINCE.com/mayo. Cam, what is more likely? I've been asking this question to a lot of people. That the Buccaneers hit their over 8.5 win total, or Todd Bowles is fired at the end of the year?
It's a good question. I'm going to say Todd Bowles fired at the end of the year. I'm not sure if the Bucs can get to 9.
Rob,
he's one of those guys. I think Bowles. I think Bowles is just one of those guys. Who's a really nice guy, and it's really hard to pull the trigger and say, you know what, you're done. Better coordinator than coach, yes, but what are you going to do? Like, you know what I mean? It's like eventually, it's like, can we get there? Can we do this? You look at the teams that you're up against. You got to step it up. But Bowles just seems like a guy that would be really like just a friendly, good human being, but almost too nice. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's the impression. I've never met the man, so I really don't know. But I will say, I think he'll be canned before. I'm not sure if the Bucs can win 9. Too tight of a division.
Rob, Todd Bowles is the Pittsburgh Steelers of coaches, at least the Steelers from like the past 3 or 4 years. Like maybe good enough to get you to the playoffs, but you're doing absolutely nothing when you get there.
I don't have many good. I think Todd Bowles is an idiot. I honestly think he's maybe one of the worst head coaches in the league. Coordinator, different story. I can't believe they re-signed him on a 3-year deal last year. I think it was last summer. But the reality is, like, based off Tampa's odds, like in the market right now, there's something like 30 to 35% to win the division. If they don't win the division, how do they keep Bowles again? They can't. They would be 2 years in a row where it's the weakest division in football and they didn't win it. I just don't know how they're going to keep him around if they don't. So, like, I would say 60% chance, even higher than that he gets fired by the end of the year. And
isn't it like in politics, though, Rob? You just surround yourself with bright people and you're the head coach. A lot of these other guys are doing shit anyway.
In fairness, he did do that, and then all those guys got hired to be head coaches and are succeeding now.
Well said. That's very true.
Yeah, especially on the offensive side. I think, Bowles, good, sound defensive mind, but some of these guys just are unable to put it all together. And like there was one game last year where he got hyper aggressive. He went for it on like 7 4th downs or something like that. And I almost had a stroke. I'm like, did they replace, is this guy, did the real Todd Bowles die? It's like the Paul McCartney, it's like, did they just replace him overnight with a lookalike or something like that? I don't know if it's going to be different this year, and maybe he'll adapt a little bit more to like the modern style in the league, but I just don't think he's very good. And Tampa has the most talent in this division. Like I'll call it out for what it is. Like, I think by a long shot, they're the best team on paper, even though they lost guys in the offseason, but they're at a disadvantage against every other coach in the division, I think.
Well, they're not.
Who's the best coach in the league in your guys' opinion?
Sean McVay.
Really?
Yeah. I think the best trait you can have as a coach now in 2026 NFL is the ability to scheme and call great offense. If you can, because offense is so important relative to what it used to be 20 years ago. And McVay is just really, really good at that. The game planning, everything about that. He seems to be really well liked. You never hear a story about like,
a couple of players have come out and said, he's not that nice guy that you think he is.
Well, he's a hard ass, but he's never really butting heads publicly with any players. He seems to always have their back. I think McVay's the best coach in the league, but it's very debatable. But yeah, I would put him up there. He has characteristics that just very few others have.
So one of the things the Buccaneers have in their favor, you mentioned their roster is good. They have, I would say, pretty easily the best offensive line in the division as long as these guys are healthy. Baker's probably the best quarterback in the division. They're getting older, but they have retained a lot of the same unit over the years. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing considering they haven't been winning the division the past few years, but the consistency does go a long way to help. I have no faith in this defense though, Rob.
Well, their cornerbacks suck. They lost Jamel Dean in the offseason. They don't have good corners. And they're going to be very reliant on Ruben Bain, who they drafted this year to like step in right away as an edge rusher. The thing is, they'll have a good scheme because Bowles is a good defensive mind generally. But I'm with you. I look at every team in this division and I think that like their offense has to be good for them to succeed. That's how I view every single one of them. And it's no different with Tampa Bay. Their defense is going to give up some big plays. Their corners are just not good.
Cam, the one thing that I worry about is, Mike Evans is gone now. He's in San Francisco. Godwin's a little bit older. We saw Egbuka get hurt last year, come back and was a shell of his former self. Bucky Irving couldn't get himself back onto the field. That maybe another year and an offseason of rest for these guys and they get back to the level where we expect them to be at, but they really just lacked explosion anywhere. Like Tez Johnson was a guy they were using downfield.
It's a great point. And another thing is too many drops on the receiver position. I know we talk about Mike Evans. He's old, but he's great. He's a great red zone target. It's one of those situations. He's long and lean. And I got to be honest with you guys. Like, I'm just looking like there's a lot of things like Rob talked about the market with Atlanta. the Saints, if Tyler Shough takes the next step, I think they're a very dangerous team with some of the weapons that they have. And their defense, people are talking, I don't think they're that bad. I watch a lot of like Saints games, and I'll tell you, they're on the field a lot. And so that's the whole thing. In this division, historically, guys, worst to first, it happens all the time. Yeah. This is the one division where you want to almost take a flyer on anybody else but the favorite. So, yeah, Pat, I'm very concerned with Tampa Bay, actually.
I will say this. So they brought in the Falcons OC, Zach Robinson. And Zach Robinson does like a lot of outside zone stuff. He did this with Bijan and with Algier. And to me, a big problem with Tampa last year was they were missing explosive runs. Like they couldn't generate big rushing games whatsoever. And obviously part of that was Bucky Irving was hurt and he was banged up for a lot of the year. And it was Rachaad White last year. He doesn't have the explosiveness. But now they have Bucky Irving, Sean Tucker, Kenny Gainwell. They have two really good tackles. Tristan Wirfs is one of the best in the league. Luke Goedeke on the right. Those outside zone runs, I think, are going to open things up for Tampa's offense this year and make it a little bit more explosive where maybe some of the downfield shots end up working in the passing game. So I like that for them. But they had defensively, I think they blitzed, probably them or the Vikings. I can't remember off the top of my head. Blitzed at like the highest rate in the league last year. And Tampa can't even get home when they blitz. So, like, they need Ruben Bain to really be good in his first year, or else they're going to have the same problem as Atlanta. They just can't generate pressure, and they have worse cornerbacks than Atlanta as well. So, to your point right off the top, Pat, like, you got to be majorly concerned about that defense.
I'm also majorly concerned about just the amount of injuries that they've piled up because Baker looks good for a few games. He starts running around, then he takes one big hit, then he hides his injury for 10 weeks, and he sucks, and you're like, what the hell is going on with Baker? We've seen him do it like 3 times in his career now.
Yeah, I watched it on quarterbacks. He was on the Netflix show this season. It's exactly that. Like he had his entire arm was bruised for like weeks, where he had to wear a sleeve so that nobody could see how bruised it was. Looked like the guy was made of cheese, and like they had a bunch of boxers just punching him for days. I don't know how you can play through that, and sometimes it could be detrimental to the team. Like when you do stuff like that, Jake Browning's the backup there this year. I don't want to see too much Jake Browning or else the season might be over. But although Cam, that'll be a bet on.
Hey, everybody, I'm Cam. Yeah, Jake Browning. Yeah, he's fine. No, that's wrong. Hey, guy had one good game. Yeah, okay. Yeah, backup quarterback whisperer. I'll be back this season. So, just send all your hate to me, not Pizzola and Pat. But sometimes I get it right. Most of the time I get it wrong. But I will say this. Baker Mayfield is one tough SOB. That guy takes like the shit he does and the way he gets like plays he makes to get first downs. They're legendary. Like I taped some games, Rob. That's what I'm doing right now. Basically on NFL Network, just taping all these games. They have some old games from last year. Tape them all, watch them again, make some notes. I will say this, but you're right. A lot of the time you want to be that guy to help your team, but if you're that banged up, it's actually a detriment. And I'm going to tell you, all those hits over time, it's like a boxer. Over time, it just get worn down and wore down and wore down. And you never see it when it's coming. Baker Mayfield has taken fucking way too many hits. And that's a real problem. If Browning comes in, this team's toast. Pretty simple.
The Saints are interesting because I think that they are the team that everyone feels has the up arrow with the way that they ended last season. They are the second favorites in the division. They're plus 260 to win it. 7.5 is still their over. So that's the same as Carolina. That is the same as Atlanta, only one behind the Buccaneers. They're not expected to be great. But Rob, Shough ends up winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Shough played really, really well. When he took over the team as the full-time starter in Week 9, the Saints were 1-8. They finished at 6-11. That's great and everything, but they beat Carolina twice, Tampa, the Jets, and Tennessee, and they lost twice to Atlanta and lost to Miami. They did not play a murderer's row of teams here.
So this is the issue I have with the Saints. I also agree that they could be frisky. I think they have the best coach in the division in Kellen Moore. I think Tyler Shough is probably good, but
he could be bad.
He could be like, let's say you switched Shough and Rattler last year and Shough played the first half of the season and Rattler played the second half. There's a strong possibility we might be sitting here being like Spencer Rattler is the guy, like at the start, because the schedule is so easy down the stretch. And I don't know that we learned a whole lot of aside that Shough is willing to throw the ball deep and accurately, which I like. But the Jordan Tyson injury, like that's going to be hamstring. That's going to be a full season long thing. That's going to hamper him. Chris Olave, I love the guy. He's going to get hurt. at some point.
Pretty sure
the guy gets concussed every year.
He's already limping off the field after the Tyson injury. The next report's like, oh, here goes Chris Olave limping to the sidelines. Like, of course.
But guys, they had these same weapons last year. This is a 7-win team. Let's call it out for what it is. They won 7 fucking games last year, and Rattler cost them 1 million games. This guy was horrible. Like, I remember the game versus Tampa Bay. Pick, interception, fumble. Like, they had no chance to win these games because they're already down like 17 points before the game starts because of turnovers. He doesn't protect the ball. It's a totally different thing. They have better offensive line, right? Pizzola, like, there's a lot of things to like about New Orleans. And if you're going to make a move, you're going to make it in this division. I think Shough is good, personally. I think he's going to grow, but that is concerning. But let's remember, even if these guys are banged up, they're always banged up, and they have new additions to the team. And they're playing in a weak division. I worry, man. If they had a couple more guys, I think this team would. I still think they can win the division. I'm going to take the Saints to win this division this year.
Kamara was brought back to be the backup in the situation to Travis Etienne, and he's already out a month with a PCL injury or an MCL injury. So it's just their depth is already taking a hit on the offensive side of the ball. You're right. Their offensive line is improved. And I think if I had to bet on a quarterback in this division, Rob, not knowing anything, it would probably be like Baker is the best quarterback in the division, but just looking at it, like if I'm Carolina, Atlanta, and New Orleans, like I would throw my money behind Shough of all of these guys. I think he's better than Bryce Young.
Yeah, so like it's the best quarterback coach combo, and that already is appealing to me for the Saints at this price. But the way that this start of this preseason has gone for them, I do think Jordan Tyson is a huge injury because if Olave goes down, Devon Vele is your number one. Bryce Lance is your Barry and Brown, like Ronnie Bell, like it's bad, and it's not like they have stud tight ends either. It's like Jawan Johnson and Noah Fant. So the offensive line should be better because they've invested a lot into it. Like Kelvin Banks, their left tackle, was their first round pick last year. He played well. Fuaga as right tackle, he kept getting injured last year, so they're going to need something from that. They get McCoy back at center. I like a lot of the things here, but it's a very fragile team. Like a lot could go wrong for them where they just don't have depth. And that's the biggest issue to me with the Saints. But this division, you could make a very sound case for any of the teams, really. And would it surprise me at all if the Saints won double digits and Tyler Shough was a top 10 quarterback in the league by end of year? No, it wouldn't. I mean, he showed the signs of being that guy. So I just have trouble when I look at the roster. I'm like, there's like good pieces here. There's nothing after it. I mean, they're relying on Chase Young as their like top edge rusher right now. The defense has holes everywhere. So there's a very boomer bust case for New Orleans. I can make either of them, but very clearly the betting market likes New Orleans. They bet while Atlanta's getting faded this offseason, New Orleans is getting bet. And I totally agree with that. Their prices were way too low.
But Cam, doesn't this go against everything that you hate? This is like the trendy team in a division that sucks.
I'm going to be honest with you, Pat. Like the Saints are one of my favorite teams. I don't know why. It's just like after the Seattle Bills, it's the Saints. Like I love this team. I don't know why. I've always had a soft spot. I guess it's because I love losers. Losers, and teams that suck.
Brandon guys Staley, bags defensive coordinator, big loser.
Anyway, I just want the Saints to do fucking well. You know what I mean? That city's been through a lot. But anyway, but you know what? I really believe in Shough, and I believe in this team. And Rob, you said it too. If you're getting new additions at the offensive line position, he was already good with guys that are banged up last year. That's great. Maybe it's time for one of these other receivers to step up. It's very concerning with Tyson, though, because, man, that guy is a game changer. Like, he is electrifying.
Yeah.
But then I go, okay, what defenses you're going up against? Tampa Bay, you can score on them, Carolina. Yeah. That's the whole thing. This division has some of the worst defenses going. So even with guys that are banged up, I think other guys can step into roles and find a way to win. You're right. It's a problem, Pat. This is exactly what I don't like to do, but it's kind of like I'm a fan of this team, and that's really stupid when it comes to gambling. I want to see this team step up and win this division. I've had enough of the Buccaneers. It's time for the Saints to be, the religious theme, because the Cardinals ain't gonna fucking do it. I can tell you that. Birds, religion, whatever. It's the Saints.
Rob, it's just, I think this is the point that we're all talking to, is that when you look at the players, you look at the roster, you can see where it could go, but none of us really feel that great about pulling the trigger on it, I think.
So here's what I would rather do with the Saints, right? Instead, if I think the Saints are very fragile in the sense that they really need to stay healthy. If they don't, it's going to fall apart for them. I like to bet Kellen Moore Coach of the Year because I want to look for the upside case. And I think if the Saints win the division and they have improvement year over year, he's going to be in the mix, especially if they get to double-digit wins. And I don't think that's impossible, but I think a lot of things have to go right. So when I look at a team like New Orleans, where I don't think that they have the depth of a lot of teams in the league, they need to stay healthy. I want the upside case, the case where they stay healthy. What happens? If that happens, I think they're very likely to win the division, and I like Kellen Moore as Coach of the Year.
What are his odds?
He's near the top of the board. Let's put it that for obvious reasons.
Who's the favorite? Harbaugh?
Yeah. Harbaugh's favorite.
6-1.
Yeah, Harbaugh. Yes. Harbaugh 6-1. Jesse Minter.
I see Moore at 12-1. That's not too bad. Like, you know what I mean? You got Salah, Minter, and Harbaugh ahead of him. Like, he's right just ahead of Schottenheimer with the Cowboys. Like, I got no problem with 12-1. That's you know what, Rob? That's a very savvy bet because, first of all, the Saints can win the division. You're going to give it to a team that's an upstart. If they do, because they've been notoriously horrible for years, that actually makes a lot of sense. Him and Salah, I think, are probably those are the bets that you look at. Yeah, Salah with Tennessee and Moore with the Saints.
See, I'm looking at the betting market now. Joe Brady is 15-1. Kellen Moore is like 14. Joe Brady doesn't have even remotely close to the same chance of Kellen. What do the Bills have to do for him to win Coach of the Year? They have to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they'd have to be 15-2 in order to do it. I would actually look at some of these NFC North teams that if one of those teams gets hot, that KOC or Dan Campbell with like one big season for like a 14-3, 13-4 season from one of those teams, it feels like they would reward that if that was the case, if they ended up as the 1 seed.
Like Coach of the Year, anyone can win Coach of the Year. Even a guy like Andy Reid could be live this year as like a lifetime achievement award type of thing, brings the Chiefs back. But typically it's like teams that struggled last year, won 8 or less games. They make a big improvement year over year. They win 3-4 more games, double digits, get to the playoffs. Those are the guys you're looking at. I like a lot of those looks, Pat. I also like Brian Schottenheimer with the Cowboys.
I agree with that one too, Pizzola. Like those are the bets. Look at the numbers too. Like Schottenheimer 16-1. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
and
you don't want to take the guys who are coming off a great year last year. That's not your Coach of the Year.
I want Tennessee, the Giants. Yeah. I want Dallas. Those are the Saints. Those are the 4 teams. Like even Minter with Baltimore's 10-1. It's like, Baltimore could be really, really good. But you know what? I'd rather look down the board and get better numbers with these guys. I couldn't agree with Rob more. I think Schottenheimer's live at his number too, Pat. These are really good numbers. Like it's almost like a small golf tournament. You got guys between 14 and 16-1. That's exceptional value. Because how many really, like what guys can win coaching? How many guys at the start of the year, realistically, because if you're a good team, no, Rob said it with the Bills. Andy Reid's an older guy. Sure, Kansas City comeback Coach of the Year or Coach of the Year. That's the thing. Is it 4 to 6 teams at those odds? Like, I'm probably thinking there's like 5 guys.
Vrabel's not winning back-to-back. Yep. Sean Payton's not winning. Sirianni's not winning. Todd Bowles is not winning. Miami and Arizona, Hafley and LaFleur.
What about McDonald? They won the Super Bowl. Yeah,
McDonald's not winning. Exactly. McVay's not winning. Monken's not winning with Cleveland. Like you could.
What about Harbaugh and the Chargers if they go deep?
Yeah, like if I was gonna pick, like,
who would you pick? If you had one pick, who would you pick? Moore?
If I had one pick, who's most likely to win Coach of the Year? I think it's Jesse Minter.
What, with Baltimore?
Most likely, because Baltimore didn't make the playoffs last year. They only won 8 games. So I think that his upside is there, but that's not the bet I would make.
Value pick Schottenheimer?
More Schottenheimer, Saleh, maybe even Aaron Glenn. Like if the Jets get frisky. I mean, that might be throwing money in the
There we go.
Right here we go. Yeah,
we're back. Jets frisky.
Rob,
what? I like Jets frisky.
Well, you guys were talking in real time. This obviously the show is going to come out after this in terms of real time. But I released the first clip from the golf video that you, myself, and Cust did, and it's just from the first hole from like our putt on the fringe, and Cust going, "I'll go first to show you the line."
If nothing else, it'll give us a good read of where this should go. That's too hard and too right.
You think so?
You know what? I can't.
That's golf.
I was so nervous on that.
Me too.
I topped my my approach out of the fairway there, and like my heart was racing faster than I can remember in my life. I didn't even like swing properly. All I was thinking in my head is like just make contact. Like I think Pat, you thinned it over the green.
I thinned it like 40 yards over the green from 80 yards away.
We had 80 yards in, and none of us hit the green. That's like
It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
People don't understand. I remember they filmed me in golf. I whip out a 5-wood to be safe. I played the old 5-wood off the deck. I missed the fucking ball. I got a divot the fucking size of my head. I'm like, Jesus Christ! You're seeing worms down there and roots. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what an embarrassment. Like, I'm like, get it together. Like, it's just pretend like. Now I see these guys, PGA guys. Holy fuck, man! They got to do this shit in front of people playing hard courses. But yeah, no, it's nerve wracking, man. Like when you don't golf as much anymore and you go out, it's hard as fuck. Like I'm scared to golf now.
It was fine by hole 3 because you just forgot about it. But that first hole, you're right, Rob. I was like, even the drive that I hit on 1, I was just amped.
Don't you golf better drunk? Like, I know that sounds stupid.
No, I don't.
I actually do. I actually do. The more shit-faced hungover and feeling like shit because everything slows down. Problem with me is me, too amped up. I just want to slow down, fucking play. I remember, Rob, I was on a bender. My buddy's knocking on my it's like 4:30 in the morning. He goes, we got a tee time. Like, who's it next week? Like, I'm wasted. Like, I mean, wasted. Yeah. Wasted. Like, I'm like, no, there's no way I can even walk, let alone golf. Par. I'm like, oh, that triple. Oh, there you go. There we go. The party's over, but man, it sucks. It's just, it's hard.
It's
golf's
nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
I'm not a good golfer generally, so you add and like I'm already not good at relative to like the better players, I guess, and then you add the cameras. But it changes when you hit a good shot. Once you hit a good shot. And you like break, you get a little bit more confidence, so you're feeling good about yourself. Yeah,
so. Golf's a lot like alcohol, right, Pat? You say you're going to quit, but then you have that one. Hey, man, it's going down. Like you have that one shot, a couple good ones. Yeah, it feels good, man. I'm back. Yeah, the couple shots will bring you right back to the golf course, no matter how shitty you are. That's the
you shoot 104. You go back at night. You lay down in your bed. You think of the
remember that
14-foot hit and like all the good shots.
Yeah. If
only I could do that every time.
Well, here's a question though. Because golf works that way, but everything else doesn't. If we're thinking about gambling, what do you guys remember? You guys remember your bad beats, not the great bets that you won in poker. Everyone remembers the hand where they get donked off somewhere, not the great hands where they donk someone and they end up winning and just sucking out on it. But in golf, it's like I had 101 terrible shots, but that one was really good.
Yeah. With gambling, there's money involved. There's a monetary instrument. So it affects you in a different way because it's actually couldn't be affecting your livelihood, right? You lose a couple bets and you risk too much. And now all of a sudden, like it's going to impact your actual life.
Ramen noodles?
If I go on a golf course and I'm a 12 handicap, but I shoot 110, yeah, it's going to suck, but like I'm going to wake up the next day and it's not going to really.
Yeah, you've already paid your green fee. Yeah. Can't get any fucking worse. Nobody's wrong. Oh, I guess you can gamble on the golf course and get fleeced again.
You know what, Cam? You're a value guy. You take more shots per dollar. You're getting better value.
I used to gamble like a madman on the golf course. I'm not stupid enough to do it now. Fuck, man. And the worst is, Rob, remember when I played poker too? I worked at a golf. I'll tell you something about golf courses. There's more gamblers per capita at golf courses than next to a casino. Any place in the world. I played poker. Cam's playing. Here comes the blood pressure. Here comes the sweat. Gotta wear a mask. No, I gave away. I'm like,
you need to put a paper bag over your
head.
More than
that, man. Yeah, no, I need more like a balaclava with just small eye hole slips, but they can probably see through it. Like my eyes get all excited, probably sweating through the fucking cloth. Like I'm just like I got nothing. Like glasses. Yeah, I gotta be like, what am I doing? I fucking hate poker so much. I understand. Like I have buddies that are so good at it. It's like. I'm just a shitty liar. I can't bluff. I can't do anything. I'm shitty. Pat, I don't understand. Another thing is maybe I'm different. You guys have heard it a million times. I don't even like taking my asshole buddy's money, let alone I like taking the casino's money. I don't know why I like blackjack. It's a team game. It's us versus a fucking casino in the deal. Let's rock. That's the way I like it, but I'm a different cat, I guess. I hate poker.
Carolina Panthers, Rob, the division champions from last year. Your Carolina Panthers. You're tied into this team. We know you got all the inside info, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't have inside info. I would never request that of my friend Eric Eager, nor would he ever tell me. But it is a team. It is like my secondary team that I root for now. I got sent this division champion
Panthers
from last year, which I keep in my background, and I do have there. Cam loves the Saints for some reason.
I
That
like
you know,
too.
for me,
I like this whole damn division except for Tampa. To be honest with you, there's a lot of likable teams this division, like the lovable loser division. Like I love these guys. Like it's just okay. Carolina's doing. Yeah, I know you guys are talking about Bryce Young, but there was some production. There was McMillan looked good. Like there's a lot of things. Like they're kind of being disrespected in the betting market as the third choice coming off the division. But we know what happens in this division. Yeah, well.
So this team has the best, like bringing in Jalen Phillips and Devin Lloyd. Their defense is pretty solid.
That's in the division for sure.
So if they can get, and I don't like Bryce Young. I think that if this team signs Bryce Young long term, it's going to be a big mistake. To put it into perspective, Pat, you saw me a couple weeks ago. Cam's seen me before. Bryce Young is smaller than me, like height and weight. He's smaller than me. It's really, really hard to compete in the NFL when you're that size, unless you have extreme athleticism, and he doesn't. He doesn't run like Kyler Murray does. He's fine, but like
it's average.
I don't even think he's average, Cam. I think he's below average. I don't think he's
good
enough.
He showed glimpses. Remember, he was like before they're throwing in Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, and then all of a sudden he's getting a little bit better. You're right, though, Rob. With a body, with that frame, it's going to be hard to have a long career.
Bryce Young, Carolina signing Bryce Young to an extension is the equivalent of Miami signing Tua to that extension 2 years ago.
I agree. I agree. I think it'll work out just as bad for them, and they're going to have to find a way to move on. But listen, Carolina is obviously the very natural, like, regression team. They won the division last year. It was borderline fluke. Tampa Bay really had to like fall apart down the stretch for that to happen. They don't have like a great unit either way. They bring in this new OC, Brad Isaac, who wants to throw the ball a ton. Like he just keeps talking about how they want to throw the ball and air it out. And I love that mentality for most teams. I don't love that mentality when Bryce Young is your quarterback and outside of Teteroa McMillan, like your wide receiving options are Xavier Legette and Jimmy Horn and Jalen Coker. Like, I just don't love that for them as much as I want to see them succeed. But the defense could be really good. And that's where I think that it'll keep them in a lot of games.
What about Jonathan Brooks? Like, we talk about this guy coming off injury, great in college, Texas. It's one of these things, like, is he going to be, if he's healthy, I think there's a lot of things that can go well for Carolina offensively, right? Because who's their other guy? Chuba Hubbard? Like, it's just one of those situations where, okay, well, if Brooks is okay, guys, I think that can really open things up for Carolina.
Can we just let Brooks be healthy first for like at least 3 games?
I'm with you, Pat. Like I'd love to see him healthy because if he is, I think that's Carolina can do some damage.
And then you got Darren Waller out there. He's going to be running these seam routes at full speed. We'll see how that goes. He'll last about 2 games and then he'll be hurt. I
hope they brought in
the division. Everybody's hurting. That Saints got injuries. Carolina's got injuries. Like there's so many question marks with so many teams from a depth perspective in this division. It's nuts.
When you sign Darren Waller, you immediately have to sign a physiotherapist who specializes in hamstrings as well. Immediately, because that comes with the territory with Waller. It sucks. He's a great player, but he can't stay healthy. Then on top of that, to start the year, Carolina's already lost their starting left tackle and right tackle before the season's even started right now. And luckily, they have good backups. They drafted Freeling in the first round this year, and they have Rasheed Walker, who was with the Packers previously. So they're okay, but that's a strength for them. Like I don't know. It seems like of all the teams so far this year, they're at least one of the top 3 who's had one of the worst preseasons.
Is it just me or like we're already like these injuries are huge? Like in the preseason already, like key guys to key teams, great offensive linemen. Like I'm looking going, Rob, am I wrong? Or like no. I feel like there's more this year early. And we haven't even got
here's what's happened. I think it's about the same as it normally is, but it seems like there is an over manufacturing of what Rob talked about earlier of this reporting that people it's not even that you're getting it from the beat reporters themselves. You are getting those, but then you're also getting it from random people who are attending practice. Like, oh, this guy limps off. Before we just never heard that unless it was a real injury. So there's like 8 guys per day that get hurt, but turns out they're not actually hurt. They're fine.
Good call.
Well, okay, so Ricky Pearsall and Jaden Higgins are basically done. Jordan Tyson is going to be months. Alec Pierce ankle injury is a big problem.
Yeah, but that's from last March. Like that's not new.
I know, but true. I guess there's more injuries going into the year than typically. Like think of Breece Hall, Tyler Warren, Emeka Ibuka, Christian McCaffrey, Jeremiah Love, Chuba Hubbard. Like, I feel like this year's a little bit more. Through 1 week of preseason to have that amount?
I disagree. I think unless guys were going to miss extended, like out for the year, out for months, and we have a couple of those, as you mentioned so far, that these minor type injuries that are likely to be fine in 3 weeks by actual week one just simply wouldn't have been reported on.
Right. That's very possible as well.
That when we
stand up for yourself, Pizzola. No, Pat, there's more injuries this year. Come on. Don't you think? Yeah, come on.
I don't know. If I really
there
knew,
is.
if I wanted to argue this and I had some supporting evidence, I would argue it.
Right.
It's just a feeling.
I got no empirical data either. From a vibe perspective, it feels like a lot of fucking guys are hurt 1 weekend.
I don't disagree with you about that. It just, to me, it feels like they're reporting minor injuries that are actually going to have no impact. Okay. Like Bryce Hall, for example, is going to play in week one. Like, he's fine. And a lot of it could just be an excuse to, hey, these guys, we're going to give them some rest.
They don't want to play preseason.
Yeah. Like, this is now their way around that.
You're right. With this news cycle, Rob brought up the point. Who the fuck knows with some of these guys? So you putting stuff out there.
Well, if Ian Rappaport sends it out, rap sheet, you can guarantee it's wrong. That's the one universal rule going on. You can guarantee it basically came exact word for word from an agent. I mean, he's been caught doing that before, copying and pasting stuff and tweeting it out without removing other stuff from the text messages. Like, it's tough, man. Modern day. And then if it's the 49ers, you're not even going to get a beat, right? Like, you don't even get beat reporters. I don't know what happened to that franchise, but like, you don't even get information on them anymore. Like, in real time. It's really weird.
I kind of like it that way.
Maybe they're also practicing or writing too close to the electrical fields as well, and something's happening over there with that 49ers.
Well, this was Jeff's complaint for years about the Chargers, that there's like one guy who covers the team. So if like he's in the bathroom, he may have missed it.
The Chargers center, Tyler Biadasz, goes down this week. There's 15 different reports on what it could be. Oh, it's sprained MCL. He dodged then like a day later, it's like, oh no, actually tore a couple ligaments, probably done for the season. It's I think people are there's like a race to be first sometimes, and you might as well just try to get it right rather than.
I agree with you, Rob, but the problem is that's not the way things are, and I agree with you 100%. Yeah. All this bullshit, I'm the first guy out. Who gives a fuck if you're first if it's wrong? Mm-hmm. And nobody remembers it either. That's the whole thing. It's like these things, they don't remember that the report was wrong. Just get it right. Who cares if you're last? If I was an editor at a newspaper or whatever working for these teams, I just want fucking things to be accurate.
Yeah, but there are no newspapers anymore.
That's a good point. Yeah, my girlfriend, it's pamphlet now. Fuck. I think it's literally 4 pages and it's ads. Russell Oliver, yeah. If you're a crackhead, sell your fucking jewelry, pawn shops. Hey, I got some old paints. You want to buy them? That's the whole thing. You're right. Like, it's just, hey, Rob, if Russell Oliver's jewelry didn't exist, sorry for all you Americans out there anyway, this guy's like pawnbroker guy, like, sell his mother out for
cash for gold.
Yeah, cash for gold. If that didn't exist, we have no news station. Like CP24 is done.
No.
With Sokoloff lawyer, suck me off, fucking this, that, and the other. Like, they have literally all the commercials are sell your house and contents. I will buy your stuff because you got a drug problem. And if you need a lawyer, call.
Yeah. If you're in an accident and you need to sue someone, we got you covered.
We got you. Yeah. Brave. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Anyway, like, fuck. It's like in Vegas, Rob, when you're driving down, lawyer. I love the billboards there. No, my buddy went down to Florida, Pat. The first thing they say, they have a course for people like with no money. They're like, the first thing you need to do is find somebody to sue. That was like the guy's fucking opener. Like, I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, find a way to sue somebody and get some money.
Some of those signs are too much too. It's like snake bite? Question mark. Call this number. It's like
snake bite.
Who are you suing in this case?
Snake bite. There are a lot of fucking, hey man, I'm at the old Sam Boyd Stadium, man. It used to be in the middle of the fucking desert. There's some rattlers ready to go up there when UNLV doesn't cover. Yeah, vipers. Mean snakes.
We played about 45 minutes outside of Vegas on the way to Arizona and Utah before we got to Utah back in March. I forget what the name of the course was. Nice course. And the guy let us know. He's like, yeah, you don't want to venture too much into like the off fairway area. Like, there's a lot of poisonous snakes in there. And he just looks at us and he goes, and we don't have any of the antidote for it either. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah. No anti-venom? You're fucked.
Yeah, well, there was no anti-venom within reach, put it that way.
What is it? Was it Charleston, Matt? Whatever. Blessing and I used to go there all the time. You know how many fucking snakes are there? Like, he used to live in Summerlin, where they had the TPC Summerlin and all that. I'm like, fucking snake farm. You see them all everywhere. I'm like, holy fuck. You go to the Grand Canyon, there's a million of them in the rocks. A million of them. Like, and I hate snakes. My heart's beating through them. Yeah. I'm scared, Pat. Like, I'm scared. I'm like, please, man, no poisonous snakes. I'll take anything but snakes.
So
holy
two
fuck.
things. Feinberg, this will come out after this happens. I want to run this one by you because Cust came up with an idea. So Feinberg's coming in today, and we have constructed through Photoshop a fake tweet about Joe Alt having a non-contact injury that we're going to show him while we're playing golf.
I love it.
That's like torture.
Now, but here's the thing: they don't actually practice today, and I'm pretty sure Jeff knows the practice schedule of the Chargers.
Yeah, you better play it smart.
You got to adjust the tweet to make it like an off-field incident.
Yeah, it's
good call, Pizzola.
It'll be tough to do. So we're trying to work through that. This is Cust's idea to set Jeff up. But but we've also made one for Cust that he doesn't quite realize either. For after we try this on Jeff, like 20 minutes later, when Cust forgets about it, we're gonna get Cust.
Oh, this is great. I actually remember when I was out with you, Pat, we're like, what player would we do this for Jeff with the Chargers? I'm like, you can't do Herbert.
No.
Herbert is way too he will not buy a Herbert injury, and he'll immediately be searching. You got to do an offensive lineman, Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt. But I can't wait to see those reactions. Jeff is savvy. Like he's so in tune. Somehow he's in tune with everything going on with the Chargers at all times. It's really hard to catch him off guard, but if you get him in the right moment, he might believe it. He might.
Well, because I've been talking to him, so he flies in later today. He's like already panicked about playing golf on video. So maybe those emotions will just not have his mind clear about it.
Well, I just saw that video of Cust blowing that fucking hybrid by the hole. Fuck, that was a horrible shot. Like, just use a putter. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know. What he was
doing. I'm just watching again. Like, what makes you think you're good enough to pull out a hybrid and pull that off? Like,
he offered to go first to show us the line, and then showed us nothing.
Am I the only guy, Pat, who hasn't come out this summer to visit you too? I feel like a fucking loser. I do have a home reno, but Jesus Christ,
I had
everybody and their mother.
Like Cust was doing a really good job of trying to explain what the shot was and what he was doing, like almost doing commentary while he was playing. He's like, I hit that a little bit hard and a little bit right. It's like, yeah, you think so, Cust?
Yeah.
Good call, 30 feet past the hole from 10 feet.
Oh, that thing was flying. Holy Jesus!
Those greens were fat.
They look good.
Yeah, they were good. They were in good condition.
Yeah, they were fast until that one hole, Rob, until it wasn't fast anymore.
Until we were on a par 5 and 2 and we somehow made par. That was
that's pretty good, though. Good for you guys. Doing that.
Pat hit the 3-wood of the year right there.
Yeah, a nice 5-wood went 260. It was probably the best shot I've hit all year.
Oh, that's beautiful. 5-wood 260. Who are you, fucking gorilla? Like you're on tour. Like 5-wood 260 is a lot of that's power, man.
Yeah. So when I can do that, every time, then I'm going to upgrade to being on tour. When I do it once in 100 times, I'm just happy it was on video.
I had like a 5-wood like 220, but then again, I'm using Power Built TPS Club that I paid $4.
You also have played 2 rounds of golf over the past 10 years. You don't play 3 times a week like me.
That's true, Pat.
If Pat hit his shot straight, he'd be on the Corn Ferry Tour. He hits that. He hits the distances to play Corn Ferry for sure, no problem. But it's got to.
I'm with you, Pat. Like 3 fairways over. I fucking suck so much at golf. The good news is now I have no expectations because I'm so bad. It's awesome. Like before, I actually got mad. I'm like, I could do better. No, I suck. If I break 100, great. You know what I mean?
Pat was in a tough spot because he hits it about 100 yards. You could build a Walmart between his ball and Cust ball, basically, on any given drive. But he also hits it much further than me. So I was hitting drives mostly straight that day. So Pat would go up after me, just go like, Pat, like just fucking rip this thing, man. Like there's no sense in just putting another ball out there, give it a go. And it's a little more challenging to play under those circumstances.
Cust likes his outfits tight too. Like I thought this when we were talking about Ozempic. The guy's fucking boiler's hanging right out there when he's whipping out the hybrids.
Cust is down. Cust is down 50 pounds.
No, he looks good. No, you can tell he's lost a lot of weight, but I'm just saying now he's wearing tighter shirts. Like you're not there yet, buddy. You get there. Pizzola.
The camera view of from behind this hole where the ball just keeps rolling and it's like out of frame.
Oh, it's the best. I really enjoyed that too.
So
I love shit like that.
Jared has finished 2 of the 9 holes that we played. It's pretty funny. I gotta say, I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
All right, that's the NFC South. I'll probably just bet Atlanta because they have the longest odds, and that's what I've been.
The Saints. And I like Rob's take. I think, guys, if you're looking for something different, the Coach of the Year shit with Moops, with old Moopsy, might be a nice price at 14 if you can get it.
That's the NFC South. We've done all the divisions now. Those are down. Hyperlink in the description. Smash the like while you're here. I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience.